Hello and welcome to the Learning Crypto YouTube channel. In this video, we're featuring 3 of the top Polkadot Parachains and taking a look at some potential buy areas and potential profits that they could bring in the next bull run. We are featuring ASTAR, Bifrost and Moonbeam. We'll be taking a look at some of the previous analysis we've done on Bifrost and Moonbeam and some brand new analysis on ASTAR. So if you enjoy our content, please do like and consider subscribing to the channel. We're increasing the number of videos we're putting out each week, so subscribing, best way to ensure you don't miss out. And of course, nothing in this video should constitute as financial advice. But with all that good stuff out of the way, let's get straight into the charts. Of course, we're only going to look at the USDT pairs in this video. 1, because otherwise it'd be a very long video. And 2, there's obviously not much previous data on their performance against BTC, considering the Parachains got launched right at the height of the bull market. So not really anything to show apart from a massive decline. Maybe something to look at in another video. But as I say, in this one, we're just looking at the USDT pairs, and we're going to start with ASTAR. And as you can see, we've got a really nice clean chart. We've got a weekly range high of 10 cents, weekly range low of 3 cents, mid range coming in about 6 cents. And as you can see, we broke out of this range back in December. 18th of December, big spike, big impulse, all the way up to 22 cents, which is huge. Pulled back a bit now, but we're still up at around 17 cents. So really nice and simple. In terms of potential buy areas, we could see a bit of a decline. A lot of people suspecting that BTC may have a little bit further to go in terms of its retracement. So if we do see that, obviously altcoins will suffer a little bit as well. There is potential for us to pull back all the way back to this weekly range high at 10 cents. I think if we do, and of course you're a fan of the project, you've done all your research and all that good stuff, that would be a fantastic buying opportunity. And anywhere really in between here and there should be a pretty good buy opportunity. If we take a look at TPs, there's only one real clear one that I can see at the moment, which is of course these previous all-time highs at around 30 cents. So let's just take a look at what that would be from today up to those all-time highs. You're still looking at a 77% return. If we were to get that bullish retest of that weekly range high down at 10 cents, you're looking at a 200% return. So you can see the difference sort of between buying here and that potential retest down there. However, you've also got to counteract that with the fact we may not get that retest. So as I say, dollar cost averaging between here and that weekly range high, should we get it, I think is a fantastic buying opportunity. Now, I've had a comment on one of the previous videos talking about why we don't use tools such as fibs to look at potential targets beyond all-time highs. And in previous videos, the reason I've not done it is because we're so far away from previous all-time highs on a lot of altcoins that there's no point really getting people's hopes up and making them dream of going beyond all-time highs, which could happen of course, but I'd rather focus on taking profits on the way up, just so as I've explained in many videos, you don't end up round tripping and having nothing to show for it if that altcoin that you're investing in doesn't reach all-time highs and go beyond. So take profits along the way and you still have the majority of your bag still for breaking through all-time highs. However, with ASTAR, of course, there's only that one real clear TP, so we will take a look at some potential new targets that we've not reached yet. So what you can do is grab your fib retracement tool, you go from the high to the low, and what you do is then you go into settings and we can turn on the fib extension. So you've got your number 1 here. So the next fib extension, of course, they're all subjective. You can choose what fib extensions you want, but I like to use the 618. So we'll go for the 1.618 and the 2.618 and tick them on there. And we zoom out and that gives you these targets here. So another tactic you can use is of course just going for big round numbers, psychological levels. So for example, you could look at taking profits at around 50 cents, which is just before the 1.618, which comes in at 52 cents, and then maybe something like $1 if we were to get there, although that is quite high. The 2.618 comes in at about 83 cents. So again, maybe you could go 50 cents, 75 cents, that sort of thing, and then maybe some more at the 2.618. But just some tools for your repertoire. Let's take a quick look at what the profits would be from here to that 1.618 target at 52 cents, 200%, and up to that 2.618, which is 85 cents. No idea whether this is ambitious or not, because we've not really seen ASTAR in a bull market, but 380% up to that 83 cents. And then of course, if we do hit that magical dollar, price target, you're looking at a return just from today's prices at 473%. As I say, if you dollar cost average between here and a potential retest of that weekly range high at 10 cents, you know, those gains certainly increase. Or if you were, you know, around and buying in these weekly range levels, then you're certainly on for some fantastic returns. So potential returns there, but as I say, don't get too greedy. Take some along the way, just in case things don't pan out the way we hope and expect. So that's ASTAR. Let's move on to Bifrost BNC. So we did some previous analysis on this before. I can't remember the date, but I'm pretty sure we were still within this weekly range. And I was talking about wanting to you know, fill your bags before we break out of here. You can see we did get that breakout, spiked up to about 77 cents. We've come back down. We're in a really nice area here where it looks like we're having that retest of this week. Well, we are. We're having that retest of the weekly range high. We've held it for a number of weeks, so it looks very strong. So yeah, looks pretty bullish to me. In terms of TPs, again, as I said in the previous video, you know, the clear and obvious one is this weekly level up here at $1.24. So let's take a look at what a return to those prices from here would be. About 120%, so not too bad at all. And as I say, there's really no levels of resistance between here and there, so it could be quite a fast move once we start going. However, I say if Bitcoin does decide to retrace a little bit, there is that danger that we deviate back inside this range, and then maybe we revisit this weekly mid-range, maybe even tap this bullish trend line that we've got, that we've respected all the way from the bottom back in November 2022. So anything can happen. As I say, if we do deviate back in that range, great area for dollar cost averaging between that weekly range high of 50 cents and that mid range of 28 cents. And as I say, the lower you dollar cost average down, the bigger these returns get. So let's just say you go halfway between the mid range and the range high. You know, that first TP is looking at about 220%, which is not too bad at all. Again, let's use that fib tool. So I don't like counting these first week wicks. You know, that was the launch price. No idea whether that was actually priced in or not. It could be bots, could be all sorts of things. So I like to go off that second weekly candle, which is why that TP is there. So let's go from the low to the high, and as I say, I'm going to use that as the high as opposed to that random first weekly wick. And as I said in the ASTAR analysis, you can either use, you know, fibs, or you can use big round psychological numbers, or maybe, you know, if you've got an average buy-in of, say, let's just call it 30 cents, maybe you take profit at 60 cents, 90 cents, $1.20, etc. So yeah, if we take a look at Bifrost fib extensions, the 1.618 actually coming in just before that $2 level at about 195. So I think that would be a really, really good area to take some profit off the table. You'd already be beyond all-time highs. You would already be 56% above all-time highs. You're approaching that $2 psychological level. You're at the fib extension. Nice place to front run that and take some profit. Let's take a look at what a return to those prices from today would be. 250%. So as I say, really nice area to target in my personal opinion. Next one, as I say, you might want to take some profit here at $2.50. Nice round psychological number. So again, let's take a look at what a return to those prices from today would be. 346%. And then finally up here, just beyond that $3 mark, the 2.618 coming in at about $3.13. But again, I personally would probably want to take some just before $3, so like $2.95, something like that. And there you're looking at 427%. If you go for the 2.618, 460%, there's really not much in that. And as I say, I would rather front run that big psychological level of $3, secure the bag. And then if it does go further, then so be it. And as I say, when it comes to taking profits, it's not about selling the whole bag. It's just about keeping some, you know, taking some off the table, so you've got that realized profit. So it's not just numbers on a screen, and you can do all sorts of that. Gives you options. You can use it for, you know, just put it in your bank account, buying something nice, maybe put it aside for taxes, diversify into other projects as a, you know, free bag because it's all with profits, or simply, you know, buy the dips on, you know, bullish retests of previous resistances, flip to support. As we know, Bitcoin likes to give 30% retraces in bull markets, 50% retrace in the last bull market. So you want to have some dry powder there, ready to reload and buy the dip. So that's what you can do when you take profits along the way. So let's move on then to the final one, which is of course Moonbeam. So I'm going to use the log chart for this one because, as you can see, it takes a lot of zooming in, whereas if we just use the log chart, that looks a lot easier to see. So in the last video, I believe we were back here. It was the beginning of December or mid-December, about 18th December. I remember it was this weekly candle because I was talking about how important that weekly close would be. So in the last video, I actually had this marked out as two separate ranges. So this was the top range, this was the bottom range. This weekly mid-range I've got marked out was the range low / range high. I thought, let's simplify it. Let's just turn it into one big range. So the weekly range high at 51 cents, weekly range low at 16 cents, mid-range coming in at 31.5 cents, and then you've got the weekly range quarters, the bottom one at 23.90 cents, and then the top weekly range quarter at 41 cents. So as I said back in this video, if you get a weekly close above this weekly mid-range and a hold, then that looks good for a test of the top of the range at 50 cents, which is exactly what we got. We even got a close above that, highest weekly close for a long time, highest weekly close since the 5th of September 2022. So really significant. Unfortunately, couldn't be sustained with Bitcoin dropping. It deviated and has come back down. However, this is what I believe a fantastic buying opportunity. Down here, retesting this weekly mid-range, it's a very significant level of support and resistance. You can see, because I was talking about the reason this weekly candle close was significant was it would be a deviation of this support. So, you know, we broke below it, significant level, made all-time lows, then we come up, popped back above it and held it as support. So it looks pretty good from here. So in terms of buying from here, you are buying a significant pullback. It's 40% off of the local highs, which is pretty good. And as I say, above that significant level of weekly support. So looks pretty good. In terms of if we were to break below there, wouldn't look great. However, you've got, you know, more opportunity to buy lower. Maybe we come down and retest this weekly range quarter at 23-24 cents, which again has been a significant level of support and resistance in the past. So yeah, I think anywhere between here and that weekly range quarter, should you get it, pretty good area for buying. So let's take a look at the TPs that we set out in the last video. I'm just going to click them all on and then we'll go through them all. So I had the first one up here at 81 cents, which I was expecting to get hit once we got that weekly close above 51 cents. I thought we'd probably come up, tag 80 cents and drop. However, we didn't. You can see it's a clear level of previous resistance. Let's take a look at what a return to those prices from today would be. You're looking at 120%. Not too bad at all. Next TP is up here at $1.38. Again, you can see clear level of resistance. It's actually quite a neat chart. When you go through the levels, it's just been one-way traffic for quite a long time, until of course recently when we turned in September. So let's take a look at what TP2 would be. A return to that, you're looking at 280%. Next TP up here, again, clear level of support in February 2022 and March 2022, lost it as support, and then we continued our path to the lows. Let's take a look at what a return to those prices would be. You're looking at 500%. If you're not taking profits around there, then I think you're a little bit foolish, especially that the price rise, considering the lows were 15 cents and then we'd be up here at about $2.20. You got to be taking some profits there. And if you were buying down here at like the teens and the 20 cents, I mean, let's just take a round up. Let's just go for this weekly range quarter here at 24 cents, and we're up here. You're 800% up. I think you should be taking a little bit off the table, that's for sure. Next TP we've got here, $5.30. Again, clear level of resistance. It's where the rally of March and April 22 stopped. So that is at what, $5.20-ish. A return to those prices, you're looking at 1,325%. Again, if you've got a lower dollar cost average price, it's going to be even higher than that. Got to be taking some profits. Resistance here, the next TP from January and February 2022, and where this spike almost hit in April. So we're looking at what, $6.30-ish, which seems miles away considering we're only at 37 cents at the moment. But we may get up there, and if we do, that's a 1,600% return. And then the all-time highs, of course, excluding the launch week, up here at about $10.50. Yeah, that's going to be quite astronomical returns. You're looking at 2,800%, give or take. And as I say, if you move that down to, say, the weekly range quarter, where your average buying price may well be 4,000%, it's pretty bonkers. We may not get up there, so as I say, don't hold out waiting for those all-time highs. It might not happen. You don't want to round trip it, and you know, you don't want to be staring at 1,000% returns in the face and then end up with nothing. So take profits along the way. You don't go broke taking profits, gives you options and all that good stuff. So if you enjoyed the video, hope you did, drop a like, drop a comment, let me know, are you investing in any of these? What's your favorite? What's your average buy-in price? Where you're looking to take profits? What are your potential targets for the upcoming bull run? I'm looking forward to hearing it. And of course, this was off the back of some suggestions. So if you do have some suggestions for videos, drop them in the comments below and we will try and get around to them. But as I say, hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you on the next one.